information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at LifeLock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
It's not just getting back to normal at airports with the government back open. It's also more business as usual now at the U.S. Capitol, where that House Epstein vote could come tomorrow. But there's also another big unresolved issue.
This will be the first week both chambers of Congress will be in session at the same time since the government shutdown began in October. Democrats are still dealing with the fallout of the shutdown showdown, as a handful of House Democrats have criticized party leadership in the Senate after several senators who caucus with Democrats voted to reopen the government without a deal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. Some conversations are underway on striking a deal on health care, and an agreement that can pass both chambers will have to be made before the end of the year when the tax credits expire. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Well, now that the government is back open, we'll finally get the September jobs report, long delayed, on Thursday. Though it'll only show the hiring numbers, not the unemployment rate. That data collection didn't take place in the shutdown. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed, down a bit for the Dow, up slightly for the NASDAQ. An NFL player is in critical condition after Chris Boyd of the Jets was shot over the weekend in New York City.
Police say Boyd was with a group of friends outside a restaurant when a dispute broke out, ending with multiple shots fired. Reports say two vehicles then quickly fled the scene, a BMW SUV that the shooter was allegedly in, and a high-end silver Maybach. According to New York Post, police obtaining surveillance footage of a car with Michigan plates driving out of a parking garage and crashing into a barrier as another person inside opened fire at the crowd. Now, while it's unknown if Boyd was their intended target, sources also tell the Post, quote, Boyd and two other Jets players left that area because he didn't like the vibe.
That's Fox's Todd Pyro. On Sunday Night Football, Philadelphia beat Detroit 16-9, the Eagles' fourth straight win. The Denver Broncos won their eighth game in a row, beating Kansas City. The LA Rams won their fifth straight, edging Seattle. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Monday edition of the Valley's Morning News. It's November 17th, 2025. Appreciate you waking up with 710 AM radio. Thank you for driving around town, listening to the radio. I invite you to join us at Radio Para Mi. It is a free app. That free app, you can listen on your smartphone. The show producer, Fred Cruz. And we got AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on standby, serving up a hot week for us. I'm Sergio Sanchez. And in the news, did you recently purchase a Lotto Texas ticket in the Brownsville area, specifically at a place called Gordon's Bait and Tackle Shop on Padre Island Highway? All six numbers hit it Saturday night. That's a $78 million ticket. You may want to go back. In South Texas news, the Texas Department of Public Safety is searching for an escaped sex offender whose last known address was in Weslaco. Authorities looking for Gaspar Loya III, convicted of indecency with a child years ago. He's wanted in Texas for failing to re-register as a sex offender and a parole violation. He is considered armed and dangerous. That's 7:06 on the Valley's Morning News. Despite the federal funding that was approved recently up in D.C., the legalized hemp industry in Texas is not going down without a fight.
The deal to end the government shutdown includes a provision that bans the sale of hemp products containing THC. It does not take effect for a full year, giving the industry time to lobby lawmakers.
Deliver a decisive message to Congress. Prohibition causes far more harm than good.
Heather Fazio with the Texas Cannabis Policy Center says they already have one big-name backer. Senator Ted Cruz tried to get the ban removed from the funding bill, saying it's a states' rights issue.
That's Michael Board with that report. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins saying that she plans to have everyone reapply for food stamps for their SNAP benefits now that the government is open.
It's unclear what that means for the 42 million low-income Americans who receive food stamps. Rollins, a graduate of Texas A&M, told Newsmax that she plans to have everyone reapply for their SNAP benefits. It's reportedly part of an effort to crack down on fraud. KRIV Fox 26 Television in Houston reports the Ag Secretary said this past week that USDA records show 186,000 deceased men, women, and children are receiving a check. Rollins hasn't said when or how people would need to reapply.
It's 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News, and a new Apple feature will allow you a chance to carry your passport on your iPhone.
The tech company says digital ID for iPhones and Apple Watches is being rolled out at TSA checkpoints at over 250 airports across the U.S. for use when traveling within the country. It adds, however, that digital ID does not replace a physical passport and cannot be used for international travel or crossing borders. I'm Lisa Carton.
Time is 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News. Coming up right after an AccuWeather, lots of artificial intelligence love for Texas. 3 more data centers, AI data centers coming to Texas. Anyone around here? Anybody getting an AI? No, that's quite the drive, like 9-10 hours north of us. 3 more, and these produced by Google. We'll give you information on that. And one poll indicating what the initial response is to the possibility of using vouchers for public education. That's coming up right after AccuWeather at 7:09. And we want to say thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. They provide us 7 o'clock AccuWeather. Purina Antler Max for rut season. Martin Farm and Ranch certified dealer. And they got some great deals going on all the time. If you stop by, say hi to Dougie from us. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina serving up a hot week. Should be in the 90s. Is that record heat for us this coming week, or what do you see, Jason?
Yeah, close. We'll be close to it today, not tomorrow. Approaching the record Wednesday, Thursday as well. So a couple days where we'll get like within a degree or two, but I think we'll fall just shy of it.
Okay, so bad news out of the way. Good news. Cool front. When is it? Sunday, Monday, or what's the plan for?
Oh, sorry. Oh, of course, my system just broke. I got to relog in.
I'll do what you do. Go check the temperatures in Central Texas.
The dumb thing.
AccuWeather.com. Long range forecast.
Let's see, what are we looking for? MFE end day equals 15. How about that?
If you had anything else,
this
thing live radio. Let's hear. So San Antonio, they cool off on Saturday, which means we probably get it Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday for us too.
Sunday, yeah.
Saturday will be the beginning.
The beginning of it.
Yeah.
By
so
Monday,
we
Monday
go from we go from low to mid 90s Friday to mid 80s Saturday and Sunday. But then Monday of next week, Thanksgiving week, it drops down to the mid 70s. Tuesday back to the mid 80s,
right.
Then upper 70s, near 80 Wednesday, Thursday, mid 70s Friday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all around the holiday look really, really nice.
We're a week away, people, from cooling things down and actually making it feel like it's fall or.
And actually, that will stick around. So I ran the forecast for out to 15 days. So
nice.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, mid 70s, mid and upper 70s. Excellent. Saturday, 80, 75 Sunday, and then down to 69 on Monday.
Very nice, very nice.
That would be December 1st, right?
Meantime, temperatures in the 90s, people, low to mid 90s for the entire week, pretty much. And Saturday, maybe we'll see Saturday, Sunday, we'll see some.
We should see some moderation on the weekend.
By the way, folks, we got Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football, NFL football on 710 KURV, which means, Freddie, did you say there are 3 games on Turkey Day? NFL games, three games. Yeah. There's one on Friday that you said that's an NFL game, and Los Aggies. When do the miraculous Aggies? They play Thursday, don't they? Oh, Friday. We'll figure out the schedule on that. Lots of football for you on Thanksgiving weekend here on KURV. The philosophical question of the morning, though, is based on a common question that Kids ponder in school. You know what? When the tree falls in the forest, no one's around. Does it make a sound? Well, Monday Night Football. With two teams with no hope of making the playoffs, much less the Super Bowl.
Let's go Raiders.
Yeah. Does anyone watch? Of course they do. The Cowboy fans. Yeah. They love the pain. Poor Cowboy fans. Well, they'll be watching tonight and hearing tonight. So that program, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday Night Football on 710 KURV. Oh, and I want to say thank you. He committed to it, by the way. Our friend Cisa at McCallum Bolt. Yeah, he decided to help us out with that programming. Okay, my friend, we'll check with you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. Yeah, highs today, low 90s. And just enjoy the heat. It's 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. Stick around in just a little bit. I've got Ponchi Idelfonso. Ponchi from Breitbart.com, BreitbartTexas.com, Poncho Ortiz. And you have to go to social media. You need to visit his website, Breitbart.com, and other independent media to see in the batch of news today, the protest in Mexico City this past weekend. Amazing protest. Will anything change? Well, I'll reserve that for a conversation coming up. Protests against the Mexican presidency, protesting against the narco state, a young group of protesters, and they got pretty interesting, got kind of violent this past weekend. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. Meantime, we're getting our first look at what Texas parents think of the upcoming education savings accounts for Texas.
The new name is Texas Education Freedom Accounts, or TIFA. 900 parents were surveyed by Texas Southern University. The school voucher program has 56% support.
Very popular among Latino parents and Black parents. It's less popular among white parents because of a really stark split between white Republicans, a majority of whom favor it, and white Democrats, virtually all of whom oppose it.
Political scientist Mark Jones conducted the survey. 62% support from the Latino community, 60% of Blacks, and 42% of whites.
We also found that parents with a household income of less than $65,000 were significantly more likely to apply.
The application process is not expected to be up and running till at least January.
In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And when it comes to vacations, a new survey showing that folks would like to hop aboard a boat.
Texans are eager to sail the high seas. That's according to the latest survey from AAA Texas, which found rising interest in booking a cruise. Daniel Armbruster says this is huge news for the Port of Galveston, which is opening a new terminal.
The Caribbean is definitely the top destination. 70% of those cruising will go to the Caribbean.
The survey found that cruises are no longer just for senior citizens. 1 in 4 cruise ship passengers are between the ages of 35 and 54. And 1 in 5 cruise passengers bring their kids along.
Michael Board with that report. So why are thousands so upset with the Mexican government? Violent protest this past weekend in Mexico City made it to the city center, the historic city center, El Zócalo. Man, they were burning through, tearing down some gates as well. What's going on in Mexico? From Breitbart.com, Idelfonso Poncho Ortiz, next on the Valley's Morning News.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Introducing the newest destination for luxury in the Rio Grande Valley, the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. Come visit Michael Fall, General Manager, today and discover the perfect blend of elegance and power in a new C300 sedan. Get yours for just $651 a month for 36 months, now during the Holiday Love Celebration at the all-new Mercedes-Benz of Harlingen. A true triumph of luxury, now open in their exceptional new state-of-the-art location at 8522 West Expressway 83 in Harlingen.
Look at the rack on that one. That buck's been eating Purina Antler Max 20 because it ensures maximum antler growth. In the fall, Martin Farm and Ranch recommends Purina Rut and Conditioner 16 for keeping your deer and exotics in top condition during winter rut. For breeding operations, we're fully stocked with Antler Max deer breeder rations, with a large selection of all seasons feeders and blinds and Purina Antler Max feeds. Your deer couldn't do any better.
Come see us at Martin Farm and Ranch Supply in Edinburgh. Just look for the horse.
Later tonight, tune in for Westwood One's coverage of the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys visit the Las Vegas Raiders. Kickoff at 7:15 on News Talk 710 KURV.
You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV, also at Radio Panami. The Texans hosting the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, I know where Freddie's going to be. Producer Freddie, he loves the Bills. I say go Texans. He says go Bills. 6:45 pregame Thursday night on News Talk 710 KURV. Violent protests in Mexico City. They're all over social media. You have to dig a little deeper in some of the mainstream media in our country to see all that. So to give us perspective and update on the reports that Breitbart.com is doing for Breitbart, Texas, Idelfonso Poncho Ortiz. I lovingly refer to him as Ponchi. Ponchi's back. Well, he's in the studio today, so you can see Ponchi at 710 KURV, Facebook, and X, and YouTube, whatever Freddie puts us on right now. I think we need to roll the clock back a bit, Punchy. The violent protests in Mexico City, very interesting to see the people uprising, the uprising of all these folks. A lot of reports saying it's a young generation that rising up against the cartel state, the narco state that is Mexico. And you could see it plainly written on the walls that protected the palace, right? There's metal walls that they were trying to cut through. The mentions of narco state, the narco state that is Mexico, all over and blazing in their protest. So we probably need to help us roll the clock back. Some folks in this audience probably have not heard of the assassination of a Michoacan mayor, a beloved mayor that was rising in power, but he took a hard stance against the criminal element in Michoacan. So let's go back there, because probably all of this led to the protest.
Of course. I mean, this protest really does come from that. So it all started on November 1st when Carlos Manso, the mayor of Uruapan, which is a small town in Michoacan. Sadly, Michoacan is a cartel-controlled state. The cartels have free reign out there. You have two main groups, the Carteles Unidos, which were some of them were the old self-defense groups that rose up years ago that against the cartels that really were just cartels pretending to be self-defense groups. And then you have Cartel Jalisco New Generation. These guys have unlimited power. They tax everything. They're taxing the avocado growers, the lime growers, and so forth. So Carlos Manso, when he got elected to Uruapan, basically took a hard stance. He had his local police say, okay, you guys are going to have to fight. We don't have anybody coming for us, so this is up to us. So they actually started taking a hard stance against the cartels that were operating in their city. He actually was very outspoken, was on social media posting videos saying, if you were not willing to fight, I don't want you here. So he took that hard stance. He got a lot of popularity. He was actually, people were looking to place him to run in the next election to be the next governor of Michoacan. The problem is the current governor of Michoacan, we reported a lot on him, Alfredo Ramirez Bedoya. He is related by marriage. He's the nephew of a convicted drug trafficker doing time in the U.S. And he's a cousin of another one that are with Carteles Unidos, which used to be La Familia Michoacana. So, I mean, that kind of gives you an idea where your governor is actually related to the same cartel bosses that people are trying to fight. So, on November 1st, Manso's having a Day of the Dead event in Michoacan, and a group of gunmen basically are able to sneak up. One of them goes up to him and, unloads a handgun on him, kills him in front of his family.
Yeah.
That caused a lot of outrage. Immediately right after, there were some protests in Michoacan. They tried to torch the governor's palace in Michoacan. They burned the city hall. People were very upset. And then they called for a major protest in Mexico City because the governor of Michoacan is from the Morena party. The
same as the president, same as the seated power in the legislature. It's the power.
And it all goes back to the hugs not bullet approach brought in by Andrés Manuel López Obrador, who was basically people claim that he turned the country over to the drug cartels. That is what kind of led to all these protests. And as the rumors of the protests kept getting bigger, Claudia Sheinbaum, the current president, basically was like, okay, so I'm a little concerned. So she put up these metal barriers around the president's palace.
Yeah.
And during that weekend, basically, she went on a working tour where she visited other cities. So she was not in Mexico City at the time. She was actually touring. And, it's kind of funny, but if you look at thousands of people turned out to the protest, people were upset. But if you look at the police response, Mexico's police was actually harder in cracking down on these protesters than they have been on cartels.
Oh, undeniably. That's many of the ironies expressed, frustrations expressed on social media by people that were there, and you can clearly hear fuera Morena, they're the Morena party trying to get them out of power. Same thing for Claudia. They were making references to Claudia Sheinbaum from the Morena party. Y Delfonso Poncho Ortiz from Breitbart.com. Look at them, join them online, Breitbart.com, and look for all the reports for Texas and specifically Mexico, so that we get the truth of what's taking place south of the border. We're focusing right now on the very interesting Mexico City protest this past weekend, all sparked by the assassination of a mayor in Michoacan State, the heavily controlled, cartel-controlled Michoacan State, Carlos Manso. Heart-wrenching, heartbreaking images, like at that Dia de los Muertos festivities. He's carrying his baby around, carrying his child around. Then moments later, obviously, his life was snuffed by the cartels. How long had he been in power and exercising law enforcement against the criminal element?
He was in his second year of power. Yeah. So, he had been there. And he
was this a new initiative by him to go after and arrest or whatever? Try to.
Well, as soon as he got to power, I mean, cause, he came from he was somewhat of an independent candidate of sorts. He had been with other parties in the past. He had been, a congressman and so forth. So he got elected into Uruapan, came in and said, "This is too much. We have to do something about this. Our farmers can't work. People are being kidnapped left and right. And you have to remember, in Michoacan, which is something that what's happening in Tamaulipas, all businesses are being extorted. Farmers have to pay a protection fee. The avocado growers, cattle growers, you can't really have an honest business without having to pay a protection fee to these cartels. People can't travel safely on the highways. So it's pretty much a land where the cartels have more power than Mexico's government in those areas.
The uproar in the Mexican Senate and the Mexican legislature, I don't know if it was the upper or lower house, but very interesting video with some lawmakers yelling at the top of their lungs. There was a journalist who's now one of the lawmakers down there holding the Sheinbaum administration to account, and the lawmakers in the chambers for not mentioning whatsoever the assassination of the Mayor Manso, but they did. And they grabbed the floor and were making sure that the nation knew what was going on.
Yes, this lady, Lili Telles, she used to be a newscaster in Mexico. Actually, in 20 years ago, she was actually, they tried to kill her because of her reporting in Mexico City, exposing the connection between cartel members and the current the government at the time. So she was a newscaster. They tried to silence her. Then she went into politics, and she's been very outspoken about this. There's a lot of discontent. Pretty much all the opposition parties are calling out the cartel ties. And some of the opposition parties, I mean, they're not exactly, they have a history of having been corrupt, like the PRI, but, it's gotten to a point where the PRI says, okay, we were corrupt, but you guys are too corrupt. We have to kind of bring it back down. And that's sort of what's been going on in Mexico. Pretty much people are starting to get upset at the way the country's going. Sadly, though, the protests, there is no elections coming up in Mexico. So sadly, I think this might just fizzle out for now. But we'll have to see in a few years when the presidential elections come up, how this plays out.
Poncho Ortiz, Breitbart.com. We're talking about the Mexico City protests from this past weekend. I suppose if you want to make it a campaign issue, they got time. Somebody's got time. PAN or somebody's got time to ramp up a message and see if there's appetite by the electorate to go in that direction, which has not been expressed in the past. They have what they have because they voted it into power, and they knew clearly where AMLO stood on the issue. Abrazos, no balazos. Hugs, not bullets. Training programs, education programs for cartel members. Okay, well, they got what they voted in, although this protest is a rising population group in Mexico. Everybody reporting on Gen Z. A lot of people call it a Gen Z protest. A lot of young people. I saw some middle-aged women with their kids too participating. Some of the kids were crying because they had that pepper spray or smoke in their eyes as well. There is likely no change coming in the near future unless, politically speaking, they take advantage of that in Mexico. Because the majority is all Morena. It's all Sheinbaum's party that controls the legislature.
That is correct. Most of the governorships in Mexico are Morena party. The president is Morena party. The electoral, the legislative power is actually mostly Morena party. So they have full control of the country at this point. I mean, in reality, the only one that's sort of been putting pressure in Mexico to do something about it has actually been the U.S. They're the ones that, during the current administration, they've actually, using the threat of tariffs and other punitive measures, they've actually forced Mexico into actually doing something in some cases. So Mexico has been having to, Claudia's been between a rock and a hard place. She's having to do enough, to appease the U.S. while not upsetting her true bosses, which is organized crime in Mexico.
Yeah, and then comments from President Trump this past weekend, too, complimenting Claudia Sheinbaum, strong leader, all that, but at the same time saying, yeah, we're only going to wait so much longer before taking care of business. Like, a little subtle threat. I don't know what it could be, but, they're blowing up boats in the Caribbean right now that are full of drugs and chemicals. But that's the only comment that came out of the president this past week. What are you writing right now? We should be looking for on Breitbart.com.
Well, pretty much keeping tabs on the cartels, which continue to operate just south of us. They continue to operate with complete impunity. The Tamaulipas government is not really doing anything about that. In Reynosa, they're having surveillance cameras all over the city. Same thing in Matamoros. A lot of the businesses in Matamoros and Reynosa are having to pay protection fees. And pretty much the government is not doing anything. The same governor of Tamaulipas, who was actually elected into power with cartel money and actually had the Gulf Cartel campaigning for him at the time, which is something that we've reported extensively on. So sadly, things are not getting better just south of us.
Get the proper perspective and information from south of the border, and a lot of Texas news as well. Breitbart.com. He's got the Texas and the Mexico beat and lots of great reporters embedded deep inside Mexico, feeding the information, pictures, video, and all that. Thanks for stopping by, brother.
My pleasure.
From Breitbart.com, Idelfonso Ponchi Ortiz. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Checkup News, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. Although the federal government is back open, affecting the effects of the 43-day shutdown being felt across various agencies, and folks in D.C. saying it's going to take some time to get everything back in order.
Federal workers are returning to their offices, and agencies are now racing to catch up.
Really pleased to see some of my furloughed employees show up today. There's a lot of hugging and smiling.
But at the center of the shutdown was healthcare costs. Texas Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar supported the funding bill with the understanding Republicans will allow for a vote on extending the ACA subsidies.
Now we have a little bit of space so we can negotiate healthcare. They have to keep their word. The Republicans said they would negotiate with us, and let's see what they do.
But not all Democrats trust the White House and Republicans when it comes to health care.
And would you eat it? PepsiCo launching colorless alternatives for Cheetos and Doritos. PepsiCo introducing its Simply NKD, or Simply Naked offerings, which will feature new snack products made without artificial flavors or dyes. Sounds very unappetizing just in hearing that report. But let's see. I'm willing to taste it. The Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV, your station for Aggie football. How about them Aggies, Freddie? How about, I told you, Freddie. They were going to come back, historic fashion. I told you, Freddie. Yeah. No, I didn't. I was blown away like everybody else on Saturday. Sports next on 710 KURV.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Man, you look at the calendar. Turkey Day is next week. It's a week from Thursday already. I want you to know that the good folks at every El Pato restaurant, the geniuses, the chefs of our Mexican food at every El Pato restaurant, they get to be with their families on Thursday, Thanksgiving. Okay, so you put that on the calendar. Meantime, if you want to get those pork tamales for Thanksgiving dinner, get them the day before or a couple days before, stick them in the freezer. Pork tamales are back. So delicious as the food is at every El Pato restaurant, which, by the way, go there now. elpato.com or phone it in. Get yourself a bag full of breakfast tacos, the patos, made fresh. You order, boom, they get busy. All these chefs, the Tejano chefs get busy. Or the mom's recipes, with abuelita's recipes, bacon and egg, or potato egg, chorizo, ham, you name it, get those fillers in there. And if you missed barbacoa, they even got barbacoa patos ready for you. Don't forget the pork tamales, $9.99, seasonal favorite. Get them early and get plenty of them at every El Pato restaurant.
Power, performance, and savings. The Coyote year-end clearance event is on now at Rivetta's Machinery in Donna. For more than 50 years and 3 generations, the Rivetta families proudly served the Rio Grande Valley, and today they continue that tradition with Coyote, a name trusted for power, reliability, and value. Right now, they're clearing out Coyote tractors, zero turns, utility vehicles, and compact construction equipment, all at incredible year-end savings. From the small but mighty 21 horsepower models all the way up to the brand new 140 horsepower Coyote HX 1402, they have the right machine for every job and every budget. And with financing as low as 0% interest and zero down payment with approved credit, there's never been a better time to join the Rivetta's family. Go see why generations of hardworking Texans choose Rivetta's for tractors, equipment, and service that go the distance. Visit them on Expressway 83 in Donna between Hutto and Valverde Roads. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
If you're lucky enough to live in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, there's a special place I want to tell you about. It's called Glick Twins. It's a gun store. Not just any gun store, a real gun store. The last of its kind. Family owned and operated since 1945. What makes a gun store? Well, it's hard to put your finger on it. But when you're in one, you know it. Come on down to Glick Twins. We're on Business 83 in Far. Get here. It's worth it.
Jay Gonzalez, the Valley's top lawyer with over 20 years of experience. Jay Gonzalez is simply the best. If you've been injured in a crash, call 1-800-CAR-CRASH today.
Andrew Monaco here, voice of your fighting Texas Aggies, inviting you to stay tuned to The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez, coming up at 9 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Para-Me app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
Sunday Night Football, the Eagles defense stopped the Lions 16-9. Rough night for Jared Goff, 0 for 12 when under pressure. Lions 0 for 5 on fourth down. But head coach Dan Campbell says his team's play will improve.
That's not going to be the norm, what happened today. We could not quite convert. We were a little bit off, and I don't believe that's going to be here to stay.
Packers escaped Jersey with a 27-20 win over the Giants. Bears with a walk-off field goal beat the Vikings, sit first in the NFC North at 7-3. The Rams hold off the Seahawks, take over first in the NFC West at 8-2. Will Lutz game-winning 35-yard field goal as time expired. Broncos beat the Chiefs for their 8th straight win. Josh Allen, 6 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 rushing, helped the Bills down the Bucs. Steelers beat the Bengals but lost quarterback Aaron Rodgers to a wrist injury. Safety Jalen Ramsey ejected for throwing a punch at Jamar Chase. That's sports. I'm Ron Moss.
AccuWeather says hot all weekend. All week, that is. And maybe a little bit into the weekend. And weekend, we start changing things up. So highs will be in the 90s, low to mid 90s today, tomorrow, the next day. When's a cold front arriving? Well, in about a week. So, Lord willing, a week from today should be much, much cooler, like lower temperatures, about 20 or so degrees. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Here's the report. Let's see here. Last number I saw, B&M and Gateway, 45 minutes to an hour at those two. McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh. The busy bridge is Hidalgo, slightly over an hour, about an hour and 5 minutes. You might want to do the UE, head over to San Luis or to the Far Bridge. Only 10 minutes at those two at last check. Business news check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV. Happy Monday.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Mark and Carla McCaleb, the entire McCaleb family in Weslaco, McCaleb Funeral Home, their life's calling is compassion and healing and love and helping so many families in South Texas when the Lord says it's time for a family member to come home. Well, the McCaleb family, they're experts in this. 60 plus years. That's what the McCaleb family, that is God's calling on their life, to help folks negotiate that time of loss and pain. Now, here's a reminder from Mark and Carla. I'm going to give you Carla's personal cell number. You can call her, text her. Say, hey, Serge, we're talking about this again. I've been thinking about it. Yes. Pre-plan, prepay. My mom and dad, they pre-planned and they prepaid that funeral event that, I know you don't like thinking about it, but it's in the future. It's a very loving thing to do for your immediate family that has to deal with the loss. Pre-plan to take the stress off of their back. Prepay to take definitely that financial stress off their back as well. So pre-plan, prepay. Someone from the McCaleb family, they can come to you. McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh area, Harlingen area, Brownsville. They'll come to you. Have a sit down. Let's make all these decisions and set up prepayment. Boom, you're done. And wait on the Lord. Pretty simple. Carla McCaleb, her number, personal number, call or text her to set up this appointment. Again, they go to where you are, 956-650-2841.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bert Ogden Infiniti in Edinburgh. You're invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinitis available now. Drive off in your own 2025 Infiniti QX50 with just 0% APR for 36 months. And all Infinitis come available with the Infiniti Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bert Ogden Infiniti on the corner of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinitis online at bertogdeninfinity.com.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen, Mission.
I'm Dom Savino with Your Money Now. There are warnings of a memory chip shortage that could soon be hurting the electronics and car industries. Chip makers and analysts say companies are prioritizing the massive demand from the AI boom, drying up the supply of memory chips for things like cell phones, laptops, cars. The craze has also allowed chip makers to jack up their prices. Reuters reports this month Samsung has raised the prices of its AI-specific memory chips by as much as 60%. Add Tesla to the long list of American companies looking to separate itself from China. The Wall Street Journal reports the electric car maker is now requiring suppliers to exclude Chinese components when building cars here in the U.S. Tesla has reportedly been frustrated with fluctuating costs amid the ongoing trade dispute between the two countries. On Wall Street, futures are effectively flat as the market tries to build off of last week's roller coaster. That's Your Money Now.
Today is the day. Ozempic, let's see here. Novo Nordisk, the maker of Ozempic and Wegovy. Today's the day they lower the price from $500 to $350. AccuWeather says highs today in the 90s. Tomorrow and all week, highs will be in the 90s. Cool front a week away. We got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on News Talk 710 KURV. JP and Jeff at Amigo Power Equipment. They've got the Kubota compact tractors that I know you want to get the job done. Dependable, long-lasting, rugged equipment. Kubota compact tractors are the number one selling compact tractor in the nation. Easy operation, and of course, at Amigo Power Equipment. JP and Jeff have all those attachments that you need. Put some fencing out there, chop up stuff, tear down stuff, whatever you need. Move some earth. Amigo Power Equipment for Kubota. Those compact tractors you can depend on. And right now at Amigo Power, you've got the option of 0% financing if you qualify, or save up to $6,000. Man, that's a lot of savings. Now, KubotaUSA.com is the website to get a lot of information, all the details on this, KubotaUSA.com. What I mentioned to you, 0% financing, If you qualify or save up to $6,000, is available now through December 31st. So stop by and visit, walk the campus, take a look at all that beautiful Kubota equipment. That's Amigo Power Equipment in Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
The newest dealership in the Bert Ogden Auto Group, the all-new state-of-the-art BMW of FAR, is now open with an incredible selection of new BMWs to choose from and the same exceptional service you've come to know. Right now, during the BMW Road Home Sales event, you can lease a BMW X3 for just $599 a month with $51.29 due at signing. Come see why BMW has always been known as the ultimate driving machine. BMW of FAR, now open on the corner of Expressway 281 in Owasso in FAR. Come find your new BMW today.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Everything you need to know to start your day.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Happy Monday. It is November 17th, 2025. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News. It's News Radio for South Texas. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. Highs today and pretty much the entire week. Just copy paste. It should be in the low to mid 90s. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. The key word from the Trump administration, affordability. I'm the one that's getting the prices down. President Trump pivoting from the longest shutdown in U.S. history to giving people a break at the grocery store.
The White House is reacting real time, trying to address what's happening with prices on everything from prescription drugs to ground beef prices. The president was talking about this last night to reporters, and he says he is aware that food is on top of people's minds, especially given Thanksgiving is 10 days away. The issue of affordability likely to dominate next year's midterm elections.
Fox's Mark Meredith, the White House. Air travel returns normal today. Flight restrictions at 40 airports mandated by the FAA ended at 6 a.m. Eastern. Ukraine's President Zelensky in France saying he will discuss with the French president how to speed up diplomatic efforts to end Russia's war in Ukraine. America's listening to Fox News.
Tickets sold in Brownsville this past weekend. $78 million Lotto Texas winner, all six numbers, match. It was purchased at a place called Gordon's Bait and Tackle Shop on Padre Island Highway. Google is giving Texas a lot of artificial intelligence love. $40 billion investment in Texas. 3 AI data centers coming to Texas. Any of those around here? Anything in the Valley? No, not yet. Google, $40 billion investment. Those 3 AI data centers will be in far north Texas. They'll be like in West Texas and also in the Panhandle. U.S. Navy Carrier Strike Group is now in the Caribbean as tensions deepen in that region.
The USS Gerald R. Ford has joined U.S. forces already in the Caribbean as part of the Trump administration's effort to disrupt drug trafficking and dismantle transnational criminal organizations. According to a Navy news release, the world's most advanced aircraft carrier arrived in the region last week on orders from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. I'm Mark Mayfield.
And as I mentioned this story, I bet there's a bunch of young ones, folks in their 20s, maybe even their 30s. They need to go look up the O.J. Simpson murders. Check this out. The O.J. Simpson estate has agreed to pay the family of Ron Goldman $58 million.
According to court documents, the estate executor has accepted the family's claim, which was originally filed in 2021 for $117 million. It's not clear how much the estate will be able to raise from selling Simpson's assets. Simpson died in April of 2024. He was acquitted of the 1994 murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson and Goldman, but was found liable in civil court. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
This is the Valley's Morning News. This is News Talk 710 KURV. We invite you to join us online. Radio Para Mi. It's a free app, and find 710 KURV at Radio Para Mi. Tens and tens of billions of dollars that have been committed and are flowing into the Rio Grande Valley through the starting point, the entry point, that is the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. Liquefied natural gas, the amazing expansion of steel product production, 650,000 square foot facility. They have an industrial park that is going to be receiving a $150+ million Italian food processing plant. They're deepening the port for bigger clients. They got 40,000 acres ready to develop and host new industry. It's the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville, portofbrownsville.com. Go find the website. They got a monthly newsletter that's very informative. And for y'all who listen to KURV, you're smarter than the average radio listening there. Go to portofbrownsville.com. Be in the know every single month with the very impressive reports from the port. And, of course, the breaking news when you hear about another liquefied natural gas node or another whopper of a tenant that'll be showing up at the port. Yeah, you'll be the first to know. It's a business opportunity, perhaps, supply opportunity, or maybe a career opportunity. Portofbrownsville.com. Sign up for the free newsletter.
They said copies for a penny couldn't be done. We said, watch us. Total Imaging Solutions. We're flipping the script on printing. Whether you're a small business or a big operation, it doesn't matter. If you need a printer or copier, Total Imaging Solutions has the right printer for you. You get the printer for a simple monthly fee and copies, just a penny or less a page. No ink or toner charges. No surprise service fees, just clear, honest pricing. And if your old printer's slowing you down, we'll trade it out and level you up. Whether you print just a couple of copies a day or need the next New York Times press, we can help. Plus, if anything ever breaks, our team will have you up and running in under 4 hours. Easy printing, fast service, real savings. That's the penny or less revolution. Call 956-664-2113 or visit copiesforapenny.com. That's copiesforapenny.com. Total Imaging Solutions, helping your business one penny at a time.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that and more. If you're worried about things like low testosterone, Dr. T is a primary care provider from the